What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you're now entering the Cinema Chop Shop, so park your ass right there. And right there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you see a Patreon account. If you click it, you become a member. All you got to do is try recommend movies and music and trailers from the reactions to click the link. Now, with that being said, we're here to review Terrifier 2, a Damien Leone movie, and it's starring David Howard Thornton and also Lauren Lavera. Now, I'm going to talk a whole lot about Lauren Lavera a little bit later, but let's get into the nitty gritty. Terrifier 2 is the sequel to the acclaimed Terrifier, super cult classic following very old school slasher. It feels like a grindhouse film, but it's a straight up homage to the 80s. If you don't like 80s films, you might not like this movie. And you might not like the first Terrifier movie. It's kind of for like a niche group, if I do say so myself. But let's go ahead and get into it. So, Terrifier 2 finds ourselves following Lauren's character, her and her brother. And for some reason, there's this small obsession with Art the Clown. And after all the devious things that he's done, which is very relevant to society because uh, even though Jeffrey Dahmer's been gone for a very long time, the showing of the Netflix series, has kind of caused like a resurgence of people to have interest in the serial killer. So we know that there's serial killers become a part of pop culture, and that's kind of like what happens with Art the Clown in this film. Uh, but there's some sort of connection there, and it's kind of explored in the film. But I'll get to that part later. So Terrifier 2, what are my thoughts? Well, honestly, I had a lot of fun watching this movie. This movie does have a 2 hour and about 30-minute runtime, which is very lengthy and very unorthodox for a slasher movie. But I will say that it's done with grace. I mean, it always leads up to something, but I will say that the runtime probably could have been clipped a little bit. But I did have fun with the movie overall. Lauren does a freaking fantastic job as a main protagonist. She's freaking amazing in this movie. Like, I honestly rooted for her from the beginning to the end. Like, I was really suckered into her character. I liked her character from the start. It wasn't one of the things like, oh, she was kind of started off annoying and she grew on me. Nah, she was always like, I liked her from the beginning. Like, she was a really good character. She was very interesting. And honestly, like, her and David Howard Thornton carried the shit out of this movie. Like, without them, I don't know if this movie would have popped as well as it did, but thank goodness that those two were a part of this film because it's really great. Damien Leone shows that he has the heart of horror in his heart because there's nothing but great practical plaster throughout this movie. I mean, literally from beginning to end, it is such good practical, and it reminds me of the 80s, and it reminds me of like why I love horror. Like, I really enjoy watching a horror movie, and when you watch somebody get killed, you're really feeling like, oh, it's a possibility that looks so real. Like, it makes you cringe. Like, I don't get that cringy feeling when I watch a horror movie and it has CGI. Like, I don't get that feeling. There's so many scenes in this movie where you're just like, like, and you don't get that with CGI. CGI just makes you kind of like roll your eyes in a way. But this movie, all practical all the way through. I mean, I think there are some sprinkles of CGI, but it's nothing like that's going to like drive you crazy and annoy the hell out of you, But all the practical in the movie, fantastic. Art the Clown is as diabolical and as sinister as I remember him. He even cranks it up a notch, and it's really good to see Art the Clown in a different kind of setting. When the first movie, we see Art the Clown kind of like travel within a factory setting. He's in a small setting. But this time we kind of see, in a way, Art the Clown hits Manhattan in a way. He's more in the city. He's more moving around, and he's more open. He's covering a more open amount of space. I will say the space that he occupied in the third act was my favorite because it just really felt like it felt so Halloweenish. It just felt like a Halloween movie. Matter of fact, that score in times, it really feels like you're watching like a John Carpenter movie. I mean, seriously, the dark, ominous piano just hitting. And it's really, we all know that now, after watching this movie, it is official. Art the Clown has his own damn theme. Every time that theme hits, he is somewhere to be around. and some diabolical shit is about to go down. Will I say that they topped the Saw and Have Kill from part one? I don't think so, but I do feel like they definitely upped the ante with the amount of kills in this movie and the way that people are killed in this movie. Like it is freaking gory and gruesome, and it's just so damn beautiful. You know, like it's just if you love practical effects, if you love the '80s, if you love horror, especially if you love gore, you're definitely going to want to sit front and center for this damn movie. Like I said earlier, the runtime could have been a little bit shorter. Another gripe that I have was a small aspect of the storytelling. Well, let me go ahead and talk about the runtime. I really do feel like there was some bits and pieces of the runtime that could have got chopped a little bit. There were some scenes that kind of felt like they went on a little longer than they should have. But at the same time, they always built up to something. Did they really need all of that time to build up to it? Not really, but I appreciate what they were trying to do. Like I get it. They're trying to build that tension. They're trying to make that climax until the big scare or the big reveal, you know, and they did it pretty well. But like I said, there's some times that, you know, you could have chiseled away at that runtime, but I was completely fine with the runtime. I never was looking at my watch. I never was like, yo, is this shit almost over? Anything like that. I had a fun time through the movie from beginning to the end. Like it was a fun and joyous ride. Like I said, if you're not into slasher movies, if you're not into the 80s type movies, this is not your movie. I've had plenty of conversations with people about Terrifier 1 where they're like, yo, I hate that movie. That movie was trash. That movie was this. That movie was that. And I'm like, then you didn't understand it. You missed the whole point of the movie. Like the movie's a straight up love letters to the 80s. Now, this movie isn't as love letterish to the 80s as the other Terrifier, but this is its own thing, you know. And again, I'm gonna go back to my other kind of small gripe with the film. There is a time when where I feel like there's an idea or concept presented in it, and it's not fully like it's not fully chased after. It's not fully like, you know, investigated. It's not fully looked into in a way. Like it just really feels like it's there. And it kind of, and when you get to the end of the movie, you're like, damn, like it kind of feels like that little scene right there didn't really serve any purpose. Maybe it's something that will be brought back up, like in Terrifier, the next one, you know, maybe if there's a part three, and maybe we'll figure out more in part three. But I hope that Lauren's character comes back because she was a complete and total badass in that movie. But yeah, dude, the kills in this movie were over the top. They were great. There's one scene that had me dying because it reminded me of me and my homeboy. Shout outs to BV. When you see the movie and you see the scene, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. This dude Art the Clown goes over the top. He's freaking comedic. Every scene that he's in, he commands the attention of the audience. Lauren was a great character. She was fun to watch. The music in this movie is banging. The practical effects were freaking gruesome from beginning to end. And this is what I'm telling people. Damon Leone is like on the way up. Like you're not understanding, like this dude is really going to be something big very, very soon. And a lot of people like kind of like look over when I say that I really think that the Jeepers Creepers franchise should just give it to Damien Leone. I was like, they think I'm joking. I'm dead ass serious. Like, you either need to give it to him or you need to give it to Guillermo del Toro, because those are the only two people that I kind of trust at this point with the franchise. I know that if Damien Leone gets his hands on it, regardless of the budget, he's going to make the best fucking movie that he can. He's going to make the creeper look good. He's going to make the kills look good. And that's all I can ask for. You know what I mean? He's going to take that budget. He's going to make it work. I know that if Guillermo del Toro is given the movie, he's going to make it look beautiful. He's going to make the practical and everything else look great. Make the set designs look great. Make the prosthetics and everything else look great. But you know, like I don't know if he's going to give the audiences what they want if they were to just do a creeper. But that's just me just spitballing ideas. Tell me what you guys think. But yeah, Art the Clown, man, he's back, diabolical, sinister, man. And even in the movie theater we went to, there was quite a couple people in there. Because at first I was really thinking to myself, like, maybe there's a possibility that we're probably going to be like the very few in here, because we were the first ones to buy our tickets in that place. We had first dibs on our seats. I bought these tickets as soon as they went on sale. As soon as I found a place that was selling them, and I know Terrifier kind of low key crashed the internet that one day. Yeah, as soon as we were able to buy them tickets, I bought them ASAP. But yeah, the theater had quite a few people in there, so it gives me hope about this movie. I can't wait to see their next project, which is Stream, and that movie has a freaking legacy of horror characters in that movie. Like there's some horror legacy in that. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, just go look at the cast of Stream, and you're gonna be like, "What? He's in it? What? She's in it? She's in it too?" I'm telling you, trust me. Trust me when I say it. There's some legacy in there. Also, there's a really cool cameo in Terrifier 2 from a very well-known wrestler. I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but dude's in the movie. I was like, "Yo, is that him?" And it turns out that that was him. So I thought that was really cool too. Kind of brought back my childhood. Please make sure that the first credits don't get you. Don't start getting up and walking out of the movie theater. There is another scene after the credits, so you might want to stay. I'm not going to tell you what it is, obviously, but it's just something that you're just going to have to stay and watch. I implore you guys, if you guys are fans of horror, if you guys are fans of slashers, if you guys are fans of Art the Clown and Terrifier, don't wait for Screambox. Go watch this shit now. Like, head to a movie theater, find your nearest showtime, go see it. The later, the better. You know, it kind of gets you into that mood, you know? Because maybe when you're walking out of the theater, you never know. Art the Clown might be, you know, popping up on your ass. But anyway, to the point. Here on the Cinema Chop Shop, we grade movies in 3 ways. Count them 3 ways. Either you get bodied and sent to the bowels of hell, and I tell you your movies basura, homie, or I tell you your movies meh, means it's más o menos, mediocre, mid-range, mid-grade, all that shit. Or I'll tell you your movie is spared, and I'm telling you, you awesome. Go check it out. Stop what you're doing. Stop the presses, everybody. Go check it out right now. And you already know I'm going to basically spare this damn movie.
He ain't earned the death. He ain't earned the death at my hands. God's only man, spared by the butcher.
Yeah, you heard it, folks. I'm sparing this movie. This movie was fun to watch. I mean, although the runtime might get to some of you guys, it didn't really bother me that much because, again, I was entertained fully all the way through. Sure, they could have trimmed some fat. Sure, there was kind of like some loose ends that I didn't feel like they were like tied up very well. But at the same time, maybe it'll be answered in a third movie. But I had fun. If you're gonna watch this movie, go watch it for Art the Clown. Go watch it for Damian Leone's directing and also his practical effects. And also go watch it for Lauren because she does a freaking amazing, Lauren Lavera, who does an amazing job as the main protagonist. I'm telling you, like, trust me when I say this, like, she is literally up there. I thought David Howard Thornton was bullshitting when he was like, she's our new scream queen. She may be a new fan favorite. Yeah, he is not bullshitting. She is definitely, my wife just said it right now. She whispered and said, I like her too. So yes, Lauren has got the approval from the Cinema Chop Shop family. She's awesome. She's dope. I want to see more of her. I hope she gets casted more. I know that, what's her name from Scream? What's her name? The girl. She's been in a lot of it. She's Wednesday Addams. Not Christina Ricci. Wednesday Addams, the new Wednesday Addams. Jenna Ortega. Thank you. Jenna Ortega. I know Jenna Ortega is like, you know, she's a new blood in town, but you might want to watch out for Lauren Lavera because she might come in and sneak in. Because I'm low-key liking Lauren a little bit more than I like Jenny. I'm just saying. But anyway, that's my review. Let me know if you agree or disagree, whatever the case may be. Drop a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to stop what you're doing. Stop the presses and go see Terrifier 2 if you ain't doing shit this weekend. Trust me when I say this. It is worth the price of admission. Adios.